Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope you're very well. Today I'm going to show you this little video. Obviously, it's featuring my blue juniper, the formal upright one, the chokan style. But it's not going to focus on the tree structures and the branches and pruning and all that. It's going to focus on these little fellas. As you can see, it's completely covered in artillery fern. And while some people might like it at first, this is something that we should avoid in bonsai, especially when all of your trees starts to get it, and then starts to reproduce, and all of a sudden your entire garden is covered in this, or any other kind of weed, for that matter. So why is it important to remove them? Well, first of all, because they're very invasive. Also, because if your plant is in its early stages of development, it's going to take nutrients from your plant. And also something very important, something very interesting in this case, I'm going to move it around. I moved this tree from its original position because I wanted to vigorize the back branches with sunlight. But this is what's happening. Even though, yeah, the branches are getting sunlight, they aren't getting as much as they should because of these little fellas right here. They are covering, or they are blocking the sunlight. So yeah, they can spread like wildfire. They are going to take nutrients from your trees, and also they are going to block the light. So for example, what we could do is, just prune them. But you wouldn't get rid of the problem that way. So what you have to do is take them with the root. So it's rather difficult because the roots are, strong and go deep. But it's something that you definitely have to do in order to, keep the tree healthy. So before we continue with our next plants that have also, been covered by artillery fern or some other weeds, I'm going to show you a little bit of this tree. You know it. It's doing very well. It's growing nicely this spring. I'm fertilizing with chemical fertilizer, and as you can see, well, it's a blue juniper. I'm not actually sure of its scientific name, but it's more than likely a Juniperus prostrata, a bluish variety, a glaucous variety, or it could very well be Juniperus fitzeriana. I don't know. We can see that the nebari is flaring out, and this little cherry right here is being covered by that a little lip that the tree is developing as a result of trying to cover that wound. So yeah, I got my work cut out for me with this. A lot of artillery fern. So that's the first one that I wanted to show you. Also this one. Look at this. Just take a look at it. It's even funny. This is a broadleaf ficus. It's very similar to Ficus vengaliensis, or that tree that you can see in temples and whatnot. This grows wild here where I live. So this I collected from a crack on the ground. I was walking downtown and I saw it and I took it home. And it took a little bit to establish in the new pot, in the new colander. But it's doing very well now this spring. But as you can see, it's covered in artillery fern. So the same thing that we have to do is take them, and try to remove them with the roots. With the entirety of the plant, take it out. Just so that it doesn't take more and more nutrients or sunlight or anything from our plant. So maybe you could consider this a spring chop, one of the things that you have to do this spring. So I'm gonna definitely have to do that here. You should never use like chemicals because that could damage the health of your tree. Maybe if you are an organic farmer, if you are growing vegetables or whatnot, maybe you could look into it. But with bonsai, since we're growing trees and plants in very small containers, it's too risky. I don't know if Japanese masters have a technique to get rid of them, but I wouldn't risk using chemicals, fertilizers. Sorry, chemical herbicides in this case. And finally, this little pine. This is one of the little pines that we used for the bonsai from scratch. And as you can see, this is an artillery fern, but it's some kind of weed, some kind of plant that we need to get rid of in order for the little seedling to keep growing. So don't let it get to this stage. I have several plants, that's why some of them I've neglected when it comes to this department. But yeah, if you keep an eye out for them and you remove them while they're like this, very, very small, it's much easier. It's hard enough as it is, look, because it removes some of the soil, but it'll be much easier than if you had to remove a whole bunch of artillery fern or a plant that has deep roots. Yeah, it'd be much easier in the early stages. Look at this. It's crazy. Well, they're just trying to survive at the end of the day, right? That's it. Okay, so that's the video for today. It's very short, but it's something interesting and it's something that we have to do. This coming days, I'll be uploading more videos, updates on my bonsai from scratch, showing you more species. And last thing that we're going to do today is I'm going to show you an update on one of my projects. So here we go. And here we have it. Remember that wild variety of Ficus benjamina? Well, here it is. It's growing nicely this spring. The last time that we took a look at this, we actually pruned it a little bit just so we could direct the new growth for this spring. And we can see that it's liking its new directions because now it's getting more sunlight, and we can see that it's now starting to designate a new apex. So we're going to let that grow. I think we have 2 branches right here, so we could very well use one as an apex and another one as a sacrificial branch to keep the trunk fattening. And that is not something that we're lacking. As we can see, it's developing a nice wide base. So the next thing that we could do is transplant this to a more shallow pot so we can develop more aerial roots and a variety that just flares out, for miles and miles. Okay, so that's pretty much it. It looks nice already. Look at this, a nice broom style, very natural looking bonsai. And remember, this I also collected from a crack on the ground, so you get nice trees if you know where to look, right? So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. There are more videos coming, more on the way, so I hope you like them. If you have any questions, advice, anything, please leave a comment down below. And if you want to subscribe, it'll be a nice way to connect to other bonsai practitioners around the world. Anyway, so have a very nice day. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.